Today is New Year's Eve and Stan and I are starting our annual week-long coyote hunt that has become a tradition for as far back as I can remember. We call in and take our last coyote for 2019 with high expectations for the next 7 days. The forecast looked pretty good but changed overnight and once again dealt us a crappy hand. High winds, melting snow, and rain would make for some difficult hunting over the next 4 days. But we're here and we are determined to make the best of it. Alright, well, we were sitting over there. This is a hunt I didn't film. I decided to take the old shotgun and sit down. And we had a coyote come up through this draw and Stan drilled him with 22-250. So there he is right down there. Looks like a pretty good coyote. This is the first coyote of our trip. I think this is our third set. So anyway, we're gonna probably cape these things out because they're actually bringing some pretty good money right now. It's too warm to just leave them in the back of the truck. So looks pretty good, doesn't he? Or
except for his nose, he got in a fight.
Been in a fight, looks like, with his nose, huh?
Yeah, his old nose is all scraped up.
Get a picture of that. Holy smokes. Well, they're getting into the time of year where it won't be too long and they'll be breeding.
Well, that's a male, I guess.
Big male?
Yeah. Yeah, he's nice.
Alright, well, I guess we're gonna find a tree here or throw him in the truck and last year or year before, when coyotes weren't worth hardly anything, it was about this temperature. We had about 6 of them in the back of the truck piled on each other, and they all went bad in about 2 days. So we hate to take the time to cape them out now, but that's what we're gonna have to go ahead and do. Big old dog. I videoed the tubing out of this coyote, but unfortunately I ended up editing it out due to YouTube's policies. Well, it's second morning, getting ready to go see if we're going to take off. It rained pretty hard during the night, so I stuck my head out the window. It's pretty wet. So I'm going to have a cup of coffee, go over to Stan's camper. I guess we'll discuss whether it's going to be too wet and muddy to head out. It's supposed to blow really hard today, so we're kind of anticipating a day of being held up in the campers and probably not getting a lot done for calling coyotes. 25 plus mile-an-hour winds, I think, today, so we'll see. But we're out here, so we may go make the best of what we've got. I still like my coffee out of the old campfire coffee pot where it perks it when I'm out hunting. Nothing like a good cup of coffee first thing in the morning. Well, let's go see if my hunting partner's out of bed or if he decided to stay in bed this morning since it was raining. Which we kind of discussed last night a little bit, if it was raining or... We're on a private ranch this morning. So that's one of the reasons when it gets wet, I don't like to drive on their roads because then it freezes if it gets rutted up and then they got to drive over that to feed cattle and go start pumps. But it's actually not blowing too hard right now. coming in. What's the verdict? It's kind of wet. I don't think it's too wet.
I think the ground's still frozen. We should be able to go.
There's a little bit of a breeze right now out of the south. It's kind of weird. Yeah, so.
Yeah, a cup of coffee and I'm ready to go.
Yep, so. And when you're out camping and it gets windy and you can't hunt, you can come back and watch football or catch up on the news or weather. But anyway, we'll get ready here in a little bit and have some coffee and go see what we can do. Well, I guess we're gonna go give it a try. So, time to go get my lunch packed and gather up my stuff. And you can see the water beat it up. Grass is pretty wet, so gonna have to put some boots on today. Get the old lunch going. Uncrustables, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's what I use out hunting almost all the time. They're just so quick and easy to throw together. Doesn't take much for me when I'm out hunting. Of course, a few snacks to go with it. It's pretty dark, but just light enough to see a coyote. The coyotes in this area transition from the hay bottoms where they mouse at night to their bedding areas in the hills early in the morning. This has been a pretty productive location in the past, but we had just gained intel from the rancher that the neighbors were blasting lucky woodpecker in this area a few days earlier during a local coyote derby. We could have easily killed this coyote, but it stood just 10 yards on the other side of the fence on the neighbor's property. It didn't like something and turned around and disappeared. That was the only coyote we saw that day. With 50-mile-an-hour winds coming the next few days, we decided to break camp and head for home. It was a disappointing start to our 2020 season. The Coyotes won round 1, but we will be back. Thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it.